Hi, I'm Corolla. On Instagram, I'm @FromCorolla. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about my 2024 planner and journal lineup update. My last update was 6 months ago, and if you want to look at the books that I was using then, check out that video first, and then come back because there have been some changes. So I'll talk to you about the books that I'm ending the year off with, as well as some books that I retired because they weren't exactly working for me. So let's get into it. Before I talk about the books that I'm ending the year with, I'm going to talk about the books that I retired. So 2 Sterling ink books, the N2, which is the week size, as well as the passport size. This was the compact vertical. This was the full year. I used this I used all 3 of these books. This is the Hobonichi A6 Han. I used these books probably for 4 or 5 months into the year, and then I just found other ways of incorporating the information that I was putting in here into some other books. So these books I retired. I'm not really using them except for this one because the cover is just so pretty. So I have this lying around on my desk. Sometimes I just use it for just scratch. So, when I ink up a pen, I try it out on here because the paper I love. So this is just some painting exercises that I did. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the books that I use on a daily and weekly basis. So for me, these are my daily books. I turn to them for planning and journaling. So if we want to go through them one at a time, this is a new addition to my lineup since 6 months ago. I think I've had this for 4 months, probably 3 or 4 months. It is the plotter in Bible size, and I got it from Atlas Stationers with some commission that I had there. So if you do use my Atlas affiliate code, thank you so much. I was able to get the plotter and try it out. I actually have a plotter mini, but this Bible size is new for me, and I wanted to give it a try as my daily planner. And so far, it's been working really well for me, and I guess I'm a ring planner person, but I do love the small rings because when I write on the left side of it, I actually don't feel that the rings are intrusive to me. Some of the inserts that I have here, I think I've actually sort of walked through this in a previous video, but I use the Filofax yearly overview or yearly index to mark down important dates, so birthdays and events and stuff. Then I use the Filofax monthly and weekly inserts, and so I have for the month, I just write down things that I need to get done and schedules and things like that. And then on the weekly basis, I have tasks and things, so schedules and appointments noted down. And then I use a narrow size lined insert or refill to write down my weekly log. And I love this size because it doesn't cover over the dates that are showing on the other side of the weekly page. And so it's kind of I can sort of flip back and forth to see schedules and daily tasks, and then I can also see weekly tasks. So I really love this setup. This works for me, and I'm one of those people that doesn't like to keep planners year over year, so I don't have sentimental attachments to a planner. I do to a journal, but because this is just tasks and daily reminders, I can once I'm done with the week, I grab the pages and I can get rid of them, and I have no problem doing that. And so that's how I'm using it. I love that you can sort of insert other papers as you need. And I also have folders set up for different areas of my life that I want to keep organized. And that's how I'm using the plotter Bible size. And it's been working really, really well for me. So I'm happy with that. So the second book that I use on the daily is the Hobonichi Weeks. And I started the year using this for planning. So it was kind of my planner, and it worked until I decided not to use it that way. And so how I actually use it now is just daily highlights. So I have this sitting on my desk, and when anything happens that I want to jot down for the day, then I just go in here and use my Uni Jetstream, which comes free from Hobonichi when you order directly from them. And I just jot down, daily highlights. And I use this as a reference for if I want to journal more about the day, or for another book that I fill out, which I will show you in a bit, called my yearly archive. And so that's what this is what I use the weeks for, and it's been very helpful in remembering things for me because my memory is not the best. My third daily book is the Hobonichi A6 5-year, and this is my third year in it. I started it in 2022, and I used this initially as my gratitude journal, and currently I use it, as of last year actually, I use it to jot down today's little joys, which is an idea from Morgan Harper Nichols when she talks about little joys that spark something in us, that make us smile, that may not necessarily be the big things that we're grateful for, but the small moments in our day that makes us happy. And so I go in here every day and just, almost every day, whenever I can. And I go in and I write just little joys that made me smile or, spark some joy in me. And I also use it to practice drawing with a glass dip pen. And so on the left-hand side, which is blank, I usually go in and I do some drawing. And looking at it year over year is really interesting because it shows me how I've improved with practice, because I try and do it daily. And it's kind of a cool record to keep. And then the last daily book that I have is just this A5 notebook from Hobonichi, and I use it for stream of consciousness journaling. So basically I grab a fountain pen, and every day, usually in the morning or at night, I just sit down and I start write down whatever comes to mind. And I find this to be a great practice of just getting thoughts out of my head and onto paper. I love writing, so it gives me that practice. But also I found that by doing this, I come up with ideas and thoughts that I may not in the busyness of the day, and with all the clutter that's in my mind, thinking about things that I have to get done. I find that this time I sort of quiet down my mind, get everything down, and I tend to realize, things about my day that I may not have thought of, or I come up with some cool ideas that I can incorporate into my life. So this is a practice that I really do treasure, and I do this on a daily basis. So aside from those 4 daily books, I also have 3 books that I use personally on a weekly or, just on a not daily basis. So every other day, or just when I have time and I want to jot something down, or I want to, go in these books. And then I have one book that's my family planner, and so I update this, but this is meant to be a record of appointments and schedules that my husband and my kids can take a look at, and it keeps us organized so they don't have to go into my personal planner and take a look. And basically I just come in here and I write down this is sort of the school schedule that I mark down or highlight, and I note any appointments that pertain to the family in here. So that's sort of a record. I do this every Sunday night. I sync it up with my personal planner, and I leave this on a desk that is accessible to my whole family. Then 3 personal books. I mentioned this before. The yearly archive, I keep in this Hobonichi A5 5-year, and this is actually my first year filling it in. So I started it the beginning of this year, and it's basically just a record of things that happen every day and that I want to remember year over year. So as my kids grow up, I would love for them to have a record of things that happened that pertain to them and to our whole family, that doesn't necessarily include my personal feelings or my personal thoughts like a journal would, but it's just like a reference or diary of things that have happened in our lives that I would like to keep a record of. And these two traveler's notebooks are kind of just, fun, creative journals for me. So this one houses my memory keeper, and so I have a sticker release refill in here that keeps my stickers, and then I have the Sterling Ink N1, so standard size, compact vertical planner in here, and I use this as my memory keeper. It's basically a creative journaling practice. I go in here probably every other day, or sometimes during the weekend when I have time to actually do fun journaling. And I just using my weeks, where I note down highlights of each day. I use this as a reference to sticker and hand letter, things that happened during that day that I want to keep as a record, that I want to remember and that I want to document. And then the last weekly book I have is the Traveler's Notebook, and in this one I have an insert that I basically use for collage journaling. And so whenever I have ephemera or a happy mail from someone, I stick them in here. And so you can see how it's sort of fluffy, and it has postcards and other things that people send me or that I get from stationery shops or when I travel. And I just like to jot down little captions. I don't really journal too much in here, but I do add a lot of stickers, and I add my daily calendar in here. And this is from my Hobonichi order, but it's kind of nice because I don't mind if it gets chunky because it's not a bound book, and if I run out of space, I think I have a few more pages left. Once I run out of pages, I can always start a new insert, so it's not a big deal for me. And I like sticking things in here and keeping it in here instead of like a hardbound journal. So that really works for me. I also have a sticker release insert in here and a few other things. So I can take this with me if I travel, and as I collect, stickers and things, I can add them into here with little captions, and it's good to go. So that's it for my planner update. It is October, so I'm ending the year with these books, whether they're updated weekly or daily. They all serve a purpose, and I love having them in my life. And I'm one of those people that loves to experiment with different journals and different books to see what works for me and what doesn't. And I'm also one of those people that if I don't get joy out of using a book, then I have no problem retiring it or setting it off to the side until I find another use for it, or sometimes it makes a reappearance into my life. So I hope that was interesting, and I have almost all of my 2025 planners and journals ready to go. I am waiting for one more, so when I get that, I will film my 2025 planner journal lineup, which is going to be really exciting and interesting. Some changes, some things that are staying, some things that are going. So look forward to that, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Corolla on Instagram. I'm @FromCorolla. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!